Hey tenors, Tracy here with a quick message for you. Today's episode deals with a tough subject, war. This may be too much for some of you, and we recommend grabbing your grown-up to listen with you. And grown-ups, we have some help for you too. Check out our show notes for tips and resources for talking about this with your kiddos. And lastly, it's okay to not listen to this episode. It won't make you any less of a tenor. We'll still be here for you next week with a fun music episode. Thank you and stay well.
Hey Ryan, did you change up the schedule for today?
Yeah, Pam. As soon as the news broke out about the war in Israel, I knew we had to do a special report. So we pulled together some info for our tenors.
Got it. Let's jump right into it and explain what's going on.
I'm Ryan Willard.
And I'm Pamela Kirkland. It's Thursday, October 12th.
This is a 10 News special report.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's been a sad and scary week in the Middle East and for people around the world. On Saturday, October 7th, Hamas, a terrorist group in Gaza, attacked Israel by surprise. Hamas soldiers broke through a security fence and, using paragliders and trucks, entered Israel while also sending missiles into the country. Since then, Israel has declared Hamas's action an act of war, and massive fighting has broken out. Thousands of soldiers and civilians have lost their lives. So who is Hamas? What is Gaza? And how is the United States involved? Let's get into it with this definition breakdown.
First up, what is Israel?
Israel is a country in the Middle East. It's a bit smaller than New Jersey and was founded in 1948 as a homeland for Jewish people. The area has been fought over for decades, and some do not recognize Israel's right to exist.
Where is Gaza?
Gaza, which is sometimes called the Gaza Strip, is a small area of land that borders on the Mediterranean Sea, Israel, and Egypt. It's 25 miles long and has about 2.3 million people. That's a lot of people in a small spot. It's currently under a blockade by Egypt and Israel, meaning those countries control what stuff, like food and things people need, can get to the people in Gaza. To explain Gaza, we have to go all the way back to 1967, when Israel fought a war against its neighbors Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. The war was known as the Six-Day War because, well, it only lasted 6 days. In that war, Israel captured 2 territories, Gaza and the West Bank. Israel has controlled Gaza since that time. And then, in 2005, as part of an agreement to resolve the conflict over the land, Israel removed any Israeli citizens and military from Gaza. Hamas took power in 2007 and has been acting as the government of Gaza. Egypt and Israel put a blockade in place to stop the militant group. The West Bank is another area in constant turmoil. It borders Israel and Jordan and was part of Jordan until it was occupied by Israel after the 1967 war. There have been violent battles between Israelis that have moved there and the Palestinians who live there.
Who is Hamas?
Hamas is the acting government of Gaza, but important to note, not the West Bank. The group has been designated as a terrorist group by Israel, the United States, the United Kingdom, and many European countries due to its violent actions against people in the region.
Why was this attack so shocking to the Israeli people?
Many Israelis are comparing this to 9/11 for the US. The attack caught the Israeli military by surprise and was clearly planned and well coordinated. It's important to note that Israel has declared war on Hamas, not the Palestinian people. Almost exactly 50 years ago, something similar happened. Back in 1973, Egypt and Syria pulled off a surprise attack on Yom Kippur, the most holy day for the Jewish people.
Why are they fighting?
Israel and Hamas have been fighting for decades over who controls the land and how they can live together. Both sides believe that they have the right to the land. While not totally clear what led to this big attack, a few reasons have been brought up by experts who study the politics in this region. The first is that there have been many conflicts this year between Israel and Palestinians in the West Bank that have led to a number of deaths among the Palestinian people. Second, there are almost 4,500 Palestinians in Israeli prisons. The attackers have taken a large amount of hostages, potentially with a plan to trade them in exchange for freeing prisoners. And lastly, Israel and Saudi Arabia are on the verge of a historic peace agreement where Saudi Arabia would have recognized Israel's right to exist. That would have a big impact on the power in the Arab world. It is thought that Iran, who reportedly helped plan the assault, wanted to break up the talks and stop the peace deal.
What happens next?
This is a day-by-day situation as Israel ramps up its response to the attack. The United States has sent an aircraft carrier to the region to support Israel and keep Iran from getting involved.
This is a rapidly changing situation, and we'll keep you updated as best we can. We at the 10 News don't condone violence or war of any kind. Our hearts are with the Palestinian and Israeli people and everyone who is affected by this war. If you have questions about the situation or family in the region, we want to hear from you. Leave us a voice message at 877-TEN-NEWS or send us a note at hello@the10news.com.
Hey Ryan, aside from butterflies, what are you afraid of?
Bedbugs, straight up. Like the ones in France right now. Also, clowns. Oof, they both freak me out.
I'm afraid of spiders. And when I get scared, I find it really helpful to talk with my mom. She's a good listener and helps me feel safe, especially in a time like this. News reports and images of war can be really scary. Talking to a trusted adult and sharing your thoughts and asking questions can be really helpful. It's also good to remember that just like when the Russians invaded Ukraine, social media can be full of false images and misinformation. Always check the source of where information is coming from. And our show notes include resources to learn more about the situation and organizations that are helping those affected.
I also like to turn off the news and get outside in nature if I can, but can we go call your mom together?
Of course, Ryan. Let's go. The Middle East is a very complicated and ancient place. The region is called the cradle of civilization since it's believed that human civilization started there. But that's not the only interesting thing about this area. Here are 5 fascinating facts about the Middle East. Number 1, the most common language in the area are Arabic, Persian, Turkish, Berber, and Kurdish.
Number 2, the Dead Sea is the lowest point on Earth. It's 420 meters below sea level.
Wow.
The salt content of the water is so high you can easily float in the water.
Number 3, Egypt is home to the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the world. It took 27 years to build.
Number 4, many of the world's religions started in the Middle East, including Islam, Christianity, and Judaism.
Number 5, for the readers out there, Lebanon is the home of one of the oldest libraries. It's in the city of Byblos, a city that was founded 7,000 years ago. I hope no one owes any library fees from the city's early days.
Those are 5 fascinating facts about the Middle East. I wonder if I can use them in the trivia room. I don't think Owen will mind if I take a break and chill out on the trivia throne.
Hello, Ryan.
Ah! Owen! I didn't know you were here today.
Well, I built a slide from my bedroom to the trivia room, so I'm basically always here.
What? A slide? I want one of those.
And since you are here, you need to give today's trivia a try.
If I get it right, can I try your slide?
Maybe.
What is going on here? Trivia on the 10.
The Middle East is full of wonders, both old and new. But what feature has made it into the Guinness Book of World Records? Is it A, the longest highway, B, the tallest building, or C, the most camels?
Good gravy. I was hoping the 5 fascinating facts would help me. Well, I've never seen a camel in person, so it's got to be C, the most camels.
Tenors, did you guess it? The answer is B, the world's tallest building. The Burj Khalifa in the United Arab Emirates is the tallest building in the world. It's 828 meters, or 2,716 feet, 6 inches high. More than 12,000 people worked on building it. I think my mom will sit this one out. She's squeamish when it comes to heights.
Can I still try your slide?
Maybe next time, Rye.
Oh, man. Wow, it's been a week.
It certainly has. How are you doing, Rye?
I'm okay. I know we're adults, but can we, have recess and go outside and play kickball or something?
Absolutely. Heads up. Nice catch, Rye.
Nice throw, Pam. Should we give 10 new snaps to one of our listeners first?
Let's do it. But before that, here's a quick note for the grown-ups.
Grim, Grimmer, Grimmest is the hit original podcast series for kids based on Grimm's fairy tales. The idea for Grim, Grimmer, Grimmest originated from storyteller Adam Gidwitz's best-selling and Newbery Honor-awarded book, A Tale Dark and Grim. Each episode begins with Adam recounting a grim fairy tale to a group of kids before launching into a weird, immersive world filled with curious creatures and mischievous foes. The kids' reaction break in throughout the storytelling, and their feedback is cleverly woven into the storytelling, which is how there came to be two giants named Fred in the story of Donkey Lettuce, and snake farts worked their way into The Water of Life. Grim, Grimmer, Grimmest activates kids' imaginations and instigates fantastic, fun conversation, which is at the heart of every Pinna show. Every tale is rated on a scale of grim, grimmer, or grimmest to indicate how scary they can be, and so kids can decide how brave they want to be as they enter this weird, sometimes gross, and often scary fairy tale world. Listeners will love it because of the quirky twists on classic tales, because of the interactive storytelling at its best. The brainchild of award-winning kids author Adam Gidwitz promotes engaging and imaginative storytelling because kids' feedback shapes the stories. It's entertainment the whole family will enjoy. Be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Time for 10 new snaps.
A tenor named .user left us this review on Apple Podcasts, and well, they left 107 emojis and said, "It's good."
Thank you, .user, for your emojis and that kind review. And thanks for listening to the 10 News. 10 Things You Need to Know drops every Tuesday, and our in-depth reports drop every Thursday. And if you want some bonus content, you could join the Tenors Club on our website or on Apple Podcasts.
The 10 News is a co-production of Small But Mighty Media and Next Chapter Podcast, and part of the Airwave Podcast Network.
The 10 News creative team is Calling Pam's Mom and includes Tracy Crooks, Logan DeYoung, Kareen Katabayan, Carson Potter, and Chad Chennai. Big thanks to our OG tenors, Naomi, Owen, and Mia for contributing to this episode.
Our production director is Jeremiah Tittle, and our executive producers are Donald Albright and show creator Tracy Leeds Kaplan.
I'm Ryan Willard.
And I'm Pamela Kirkland. Thanks